In this video, I'm going to explain the difference between arithmetic and geometric sequences. And the simplest way I can explain it is that an arithmetic sequence is one where we are adding or subtracting a constant number to get us to the next term that's in that sequence. While a geometric sequence is one where we are multiplying or dividing by a constant number to get us to the next term in that sequence. So let's look at the sequence on the left, which is an arithmetic sequence. And what we'll notice is that we have to add the same number to get us to that next term. So if I add -4 plus 3, that'll get me to the second term, which is a -1. Now if I add -1 plus 3, that'll get me to the third term, which is a 2. 2 plus 3 will get me to 5, and so on. Now, that number that I keep adding each time, we call that number the common difference. And the common difference is useful because it can help me get more numbers that are in this sequence. So if I wanted to know what was after 8, all I would do is add that common difference and find out that 11 is the next number that's in this sequence. Now let's look over at the right at the geometric sequence. Again, in geometric sequences, we're either multiplying or dividing to get to that next term. So to get from -3 to 6, I'm going to do times -2. And I'll notice that that's constant throughout this entire sequence. If I do 6 times -2, it'll give me -12. If I do -12 times -2, it'll give me +24, and so on. And that number that I keep multiplying by, that's called the common ratio. And the common ratio can be used in the same way that the common difference was used to get my next number. So if I did 24 times -2, that would tell me that the next number in this sequence would be -48. All right, let's look at a few more examples. So in this sequence, I noticed that to get from 12 to 7, I'm subtracting 5, and that remains constant throughout. 7 minus 5 will get me to 2. 2 minus 5 will get me to -3, and so on. And so because it's a constant subtraction, that means that this sequence here is an arithmetic sequence. Now, the common difference, because we're subtracting, it's going to be a negative number because subtracting 5 is the same thing as adding -5. So my common difference is going to be -5. If I add -5, I'm going to get the next number in this sequence. And again, we can use that to find out that the next number would be -13 because -8 plus -5 or -8 minus 5 is -13. All right, last example. And here I realized that to get from one number to the next, I'm actually doing division this time. So if I divide 18 by 3, I'll get to 6. And if I divide 6 by that same number 3, I'll get to 2. And if I divide 2 by 3, I'll get to 2/3, and so on. So again, because this is a sequence that involves division of a constant number, this is called a geometric sequence. Now, when we write the common ratio, because we said before the common ratio is the number that we're multiplying by, we're going to write it as 1/3 because dividing by 3 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/3. So I can look at this as 18 times 1/3. That gets me 6. 6 times 1/3. That gets me 2. So my common ratio here is 1/3. Before you go, I have some practice problems for you guys, but also you can check out my other videos if you need to understand these sequences at a deeper level, if you need to know how to write their formulas or find a specific term in the sequence that's not necessarily the next term. I do have videos that go into more depth, but the practice problems in front of you, if you want to try to find out what kind of sequence is it, and then what's the common ratio or common difference, the answers to these are in the description of the video so that you know if you got them right or wrong. If this video helped you understand sequences a little bit more, I would appreciate it if you can give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.